Hi everyone, I am the Sarcastic Sloth, and welcome to my channel. So, we're going to be talking about Brooke Houts' latest apology video. If you don't know who that is by name, then if I were to remind you by saying that's the YouTuber who basically got cancelled because she pushed, hit, and spat on her dog, that might ring a bell to you now, hey? So she's made an apology video. Seems to be the thing with my channel these days. I'm just forever, perpetually covering apology videos, it would seem, in 2020. It's getting a bit much, isn't it? But this one in particular, I felt like I needed to because, one, it covered a subject that I wasn't around on YouTube when it actually occurred. As it's been brought up again, I'm going to give my 10 cents on the whole issue, or 10 pence if you're from here. It's got an interesting element, this particular apology video. I'm not going to give too much away. You know, if you've seen it, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. It was an hour and 20 minutes, which is the longest apology video I've seen by far. However, there is, yeah, like I said, if you haven't seen it, then you're welcome. You're welcome that you can just get it all summed up here. But bloody hell, man, it was a bit of a trip, man. That's all I'm gonna say. So without further ado, let's crack on. So as always with all of my videos, everything I'm going to be discussing on this particular subject are my own thoughts and opinions on the matter, and if you don't like that, then ta-ra. Where do I begin with this? I mean, like I said, it was an hour and 20 something minute odyssey. It contains some things I expect from a lot of 2020 YouTuber apologies, i.e. she is wearing a grey jumper. So, you know, consistent they are, at least with this particular element. It's almost like a trend, isn't it? If you're not wearing grey, then you're not humble enough, okay? It's really bizarre that they all pick up on that one particular thing, apart from Jeffree Star, of course, because he did his apology on a golden couch in a bathrobe, a pink bathrobe, actually. The one thing that I thought was quite bizarre was that, you know, she's made another apology after a year, and she does go into it saying the reason why she has gone ahead and done another apology after such a length of time is because she wasn't exactly happy with her first apology, and that's a fair point because it was crap. It basically addressed nothing. It was just sort of like that whole I'm not that kind of person, trust me vibe that they all go for these days, isn't it? So yeah, you know, I could understand in one way why she would want to do it over. It did sort of strike me as suspicious, or maybe I'm just overly suspicious these days because of the amount of these I've done and done videos on. Like, maybe because in 2020 there's been so many of them, and obviously they get a lot of views, each and every single one of them do. I've got something that I did a crappy apologize for before in 2019. Maybe I'll just do it again this year and it'll drive some views. Why would she want to drive some more views towards her channel? Because, I mean, at the end of the day, she's only got 3 videos, i.e. 2 that she's made within the last year, and this one in particular, she's deleted all her previous content, which is pretty wild, you know, but I will go into why she has done that in a little bit. The timing of it is a bit weird, you know. Like I said, being the cynical sloth that I am sarcastic, but I am also cynical too. I couldn't help but just notice that it was a bit weird that it was happening in the season of the apology, quite frankly. And then she also builds up the apology. There's like quite an intro that quite a hefty intro that she lays into it, saying that, you know, she's going to go over the apology again, but then also that her boyfriend is going to come out with a perspective of what happened during that particular time frame, i.e. when the incident occurred. Now I'm just going to go into it from my space and how I think. Now, if you follow me on Twitter, and if you don't, you should, then I'll put a little something here if you want to go check it out. Maybe follow me, that would be great. But yeah, if you go on to my Twitter, then you'll know that I am very much an animal person, especially a dog person. I don't get into Twitter beef, but I will certainly post a hell of a lot of dog videos. So for me, when I originally saw the video, the fabled video, and if you don't know, what happened was, the reason why that whole thing came to light in the first place is she was creating a video with a Doberman, and Doberman's name is Sphinx, and it was replicating some kind of prank that people were doing on their dogs at the time, i.e. you get like a cling film or cellophane, I think you guys call it over there, wrap it around the door, call the dog to come into the room, and the dog goes into a load of cellophane and it's like, oh gee, what's going on guys, oh what a laugh and what a goof. She was trying to do this, it didn't really work out. She has a very boisterous, particularly massive Doberman, and if you know anything about Dobermans too, I had an aunt who she used to breed them, is they're lovely, lovable dogs. However, they are big dogs, and they are also they're quite like wacky, if anything. You know, I know you tend to see a lot of them in movies guarding, like, you know, the local dump and stuff like that. If you're watching The Goonies or Stand By Me or something like that, a lot of them are very lovely and cuddly, and they just want your attention all of the time. Like my aunt, she used to have a dog who, if you were sitting at the sofa, the dog would sit on your feet, and if you moved your feet out from underneath the dog, it would do like a shufty back to make it put itself back on your feet again. They just want your attention, especially when they are very young. They're quite boisterous, and like I said, they're pretty wacky and lovely dogs. However, if you're trying to film a YouTube video and you haven't got that much patience, which he evidently didn't, then this could be a problem for you, because you gotta do the content, man. Like, I gotta get the content out for the algorithm. And yeah, basically she ended up, as I said before, she slapped the dog, she pushed the dog down on the floor, all aggressively, of course. I don't know how you wouldn't do it aggressively, but there you go. And she also, well, from everyone's perspective, or she's saying different, spat on the dog for all intents and purposes. Not the best look, obviously, and at that time when I did see that, I did want to crawl through my iPad and rescue that dog, and dare I say it, give her a stern bloody telling off at the time. But, you know, like I said, a year has passed, she still has got the dog. I mean, there was a whole incident where the dog got looked into by, what do you call him over there? Over here it's the RSPCA. Dog Protective Services? I'm not going to do my research on that one. But anyway, there's two kinds of people in this world that I seriously don't trust straight off the bat, just off the basis of two little bits of information. As people who don't like animals, I don't want to know you. And people who just don't get music, don't listen to music. I find that weird and a bit untrustworthy, to be quite frank, but that's by the by. Getting back to this apology video, she builds this up and she says about her boyfriend, whose name is Teal's, perspective on things, and that's going to be half of the video. Bear in mind, she says half of the video. She said it refers to it as an incident that went horribly wrong. Again, that doesn't sit right with me, because at the end of the day, it's not something that went horribly wrong. It's not like the dog did anything wrong. Those were your own actions, and, you know, you have control over those actions. And I dare say, you know, who's to say that without any of this coming out, that wouldn't be the last time that she did that. She does stick by the story of that. This was the first time that occurred, and I wouldn't have done it again, and I was disgusted with myself after I saw myself do it. But would you be willing to bet maybe that she is a lot more disgusted with herself by the fact that millions of people saw it and also gave her shit for it? The funny thing is, with her particular part of the apology, I would say you'd even have to split that into two parts. There's the part where she's actually explaining what's happening and how she was feeling at the time and all of that stuff. And she seems very scripted. Like, I feel that she's said this in the mirror many, many times over the course of the last year. Second part, when she starts talking about how her life is now with her boyfriend Teal, and, you know, having let Jesus Christ into her heart and all of that, it's almost like you're witnessing two different girls, actually, if I'm being honest. Like, she sort of becomes more animated. Before, whenever she's addressed this situation before, I've always thought that she looked quite, or just emotionless, really, in regards to it. And I don't think she really thought she did anything wrong to begin with, or at least, like, if she did think that she did something wrong, she did want to cover it up and sort of make out like it never happened. I'll be honest, I have checked out her and her boyfriend's channel, Brooke and Teal, I think it's called. There seems to be a lot of positive changes. Like, before, she was just this story time teller. Now she's got sort of like, her and her boyfriend are fully invested seemingly into this whole, you know, YouTuber couple scenario that they're looking to become. You can't hate on anyone for wanting to reinvent themselves after something really, you know, something like that has occurred at the end of the day. And I'm not going to pretend like she's done that thing and that she should forever be condemned for it. It was horrible. It was grim. I do not like it. I do not condone it under any stretch of the imagination. However, you know, it's not like she tried to profit from that in particular. And I have seen from other videos that, like, her and her boyfriend, she mentions this in her apology, they are training the dog, and they've, you know, got a lot more of a bond going on at the moment. So that's all well and cool. One thing I didn't like about what she said is, and I don't believe this if I'm being honest, maybe it's a bit different in America, I don't know, but she says that the police said that she can't apologize like publicly or in any capacity after the event occurred. That doesn't sit right. That doesn't make sense. Why would the police be able to tell you when or when not to apologize? If anything, if she had a lawyer, the lawyer would have told her not to apologize because it's an admission of guilt or something of that nature, whilst there was an investigation going on for animal abuse at the end of the day. That makes sense in my mind. But the police telling you that you can't apologize, I'll do what I want, man. Like, if I want to apologize, I'm going to apologize. What are you going to do? Throw me in jail? Like, you can't. That doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make me any sense whatsoever. So that bit, I am a bit like, And she does do that whole YouTuber apology spiel where she said, the people who know me know that I'm not like that I'm not that kind of person, and blah, blah, blah. And yeah, we've heard that before. Whether it's true, whether it's not, I don't know. We won't know. If I'm being honest, from the apology overall and just from what I'm seeing, I am more inclined to give her the benefit of the doubt. Her boyfriend, on the other hand, whoo, that is something else, man. He is a trip. So, what do I think of Teal? Well, he strikes me as a cult leader in the making, if I'm being quite honest. The guy goes on for just shy of an hour of her apology. It's her apology video, okay? But he does the vast majority of the talking. He identifies the fact that she has over 300,000 subscribers. He says that he wants to, well, first off, everything that he says is he's powered by Jesus Christ. Cool. That's not the thing I've got issue with. The issue I have is it's just sort of the way he talks about things. It's sort of like, it's not even like subtle sleight of hand in his linguistics when he's saying that he sees that she's got 300,000 subscribers, and he sees that there's 300,000 people out there who need love, and he has all the love and the answers, and it's just the bizarrest thing I've seen in a while. Like I said, in terms of apology videos, it's pretty bloody unique. I'll give you that one there, Teal, mate. I'll give you that one there, dude. And here's the thing as well. I feel that, like, if it was her own genuine apology, then what she posted, what she stated in the first 20 odd minutes, like, for me, I was satisfied with that. I wasn't like, oh, I forgive her and everything's cool and hunky-dory, but I was like, well, there seems to be something there. There's a few things I don't quite trust yet, but overall, I feel like she might be on some kind of good path here. If I'm going to say what I think about this entirely, I'm going to say this. I reckon that he is the driving force in all of this relationship. This thing that she's gone through, so she, there's Doggate. All of these people are on her back now all of a sudden. She's angered the mob, rightly so, at the end of the day. And then all of a sudden, this guy, this like outrageously, happy guy, hey, maybe he is genuinely that happy all the time. Or maybe there's something else going on there. I don't know. It just strikes me that she found him at exactly the right time, and he found someone who had 300,000 subscribers who clearly has knowledge of YouTube. He does state that he wanted to be a YouTuber prior to meeting her. And hey, their relationship, when it's just them, could be the most perfect idyllic thing on planet Earth. That I'm not knocking. I'm not knocking at all. What I am saying is, well, they seem to mutually benefit from it, in terms of he wanted to be a YouTuber, and hey, he likes this girl who happens to be a YouTuber. She's at her lowest point because Doggate has occurred, and meets this guy who's like, whoa, I'm just the happiest guy in the whole wide world. I've got all of this knowledge that I need to spread into the whole wide world, man. And it's really something. It is something else. His own channel has 130 odd subscribers, and then their combined channel has 3,000 subscribers. So we see who's bringing the subscribers to the table. And there's a reason why, she's done this on her channel, because it has the most amount of reach. And I think that he hopes that he's gonna be able to sort of, like I said, he's got the feelings of a cult leader. And there's a lot of YouTubers out there that you could say they have that same sort of following and that mania about them too. It's just very weird. Like I said, it struck me as super weird. But like, anyone who comes at you and says that they have all of the answers is someone not to trust, man. Like, I mean, obviously I'm new to all of this. I'm a new YouTuber. I hope that you guys don't think that I know all the answers, because I certainly don't. So I definitely don't. I'm just a guy talking nonsense into his webcam at the end of the day. I'll happily admit that. So I hope everything goes well for them. I really do. I just have a feeling that it might, I have a feeling this is probably not going to be the last video I do on them, just purely because there's something about him, man. I had to watch this video in segments as well, because he is too much to just watch in one go. Very weird. Yeah, very weird. If you've watched it, what do you think? If you don't want to watch the whole thing, just go and watch Def Noodle's video and come back and let me know what you think on that. Leave a like, and if you subscribe, then that will be banging. But otherwise, stay safe out there.